AI is pretty much becoming the architect of our digital world. It's in everything from how we work to how we talk to each other. But as we build more and more of our lives on this tech, we've got to ask a really important question. How do we make sure it's safe, secure? How do we make sure it's something we can actually trust? Okay, let's get into it.
So think about it. All the AI you use every single day. Do you have any idea what's actually inside it? Like, what data was it trained on? What little pieces of software are holding the whole thing together? For pretty much all of us, the answer is a big nope. And well, that's a huge problem. A lot of AI systems today are what we call black boxes. You can see what goes in and you can see what comes out, but everything that happens in the middle, it's a total mystery. Imagine someone asks you to live on the 100th floor of a brand new skyscraper, but the builders refuse to show you the blueprints or tell you what kind of concrete they used. You wouldn't feel very safe, would you? Of course not. And we can't build our digital future on that same kind of mystery.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to crack open that black box. We've talked about the problem. Now we're going to look at two really powerful solutions, a blueprint for how to build AI securely and a super detailed ingredients list for every single part. Then we'll see how they fit together and what it all means for, our future. Every solid building starts with a good blueprint, right? A master plan that lays out all the rules and standards for a safe build. Well, for AI, that master plan is coming from a group called the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST for short.
NIST has created something called the Secure Software Development Framework, or SSDF. Now, this isn't some crazy, rigid checklist. It's more like a common language, a set of best practices for building secure software from the very beginning. Think of it as the official architectural plan for our AI skyscraper. It's all about how to build it the right way.
And here's what's really cool, who this blueprint is actually for. It's not just for the coders hammering out the AI models. It's also for the companies putting those models into their products and even the organizations buying the final thing. The big idea here is that security isn't just one person's job. It's a shared responsibility, all the way down the line. The whole framework kind of boils down to four main ideas. First, you prepare the organization, set the security rules, train your people. Then you protect the software. That means the AI models, the data, everything from being messed with. Third, you produce well-secured software, which means using good secure coding habits. And last, you have to have a plan to respond to vulnerabilities, because let's be real, they're going to happen. It's the whole life cycle from start to finish.
Okay, so we've got our blueprint. Awesome. But what about the materials? The actual digital nuts and bolts. For that, we need a detailed ingredients list. And this is an idea being pushed by groups like India's Computer Emergency Response Team, or CERT-IN.
It's called a Software Bill of Materials, or SBOM. And it's basically what it sounds like. A complete inventory of every single component, every library, every little piece that makes up a program. It's so useful because if a security flaw is found in one of those little pieces, an SBOM lets you know instantly if your software is at risk.
Now, it only makes sense to apply this to AI, right? So we need a special version, the Artificial Intelligence Bill of Materials, or AIBOM. Because AI isn't just software, it's also huge data sets, special hardware like GPUs, and these incredibly complex trained models. And AIBOM lists every single one of those things. Finally, we get some real transparency.
So what's actually on this AIBOM list? Well, guidelines from agencies like CERT-IN give us the basics. You've got the obvious stuff like the model's name and version, but you also have to list all the software it needs to run, the specific hardware it requires, and, this is the big one, the data sources that were used to train it. This is how we finally get to peek inside that black box.
So we have the blueprint that tells us how to build, and we've got the ingredients list that tells us what we're building with. The real magic happens when you put those two things together.
And this is really where it all clicks. The NIST framework, that's our blueprint. It's about the process, the secure practices for how you build. Then you have the AIBOM, guided by CERT-IN. That's our ingredients list, focused on the components, giving us a clear look at what you've built. One manages the risk while you're building, the other helps you track problems in the finished product. They are absolutely two sides of the same coin.
And I want to be clear. This isn't just some nice idea people are talking about. This is a real global movement. You've got major government agencies like NIST in the US and CERT-IN in India leading the charge. There's a serious international push to make our AI ecosystem safer and way more transparent.
So what does all this mean for us, really? Well, it means we're finally laying a proper foundation.
A foundation for a future where AI isn't some mysterious black box we just have to cross our fingers and hope for the best with, but a reliable tool that we can actually look at, understand, and trust. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Building trust in AI isn't a one-shot deal. It takes both a secure process, that's our blueprint, and total transparency about the parts, that's our ingredients list. When you combine these two, we can finally stop building on hope and start engineering with confidence.
And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. As AI keeps building more and more of our world, we all have a part to play. The question isn't just about whether these blueprints and ingredient lists exist. The real question is, who's checking them? And the answer to that is, well, all of us.